Good morning. Welcome. 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 Welcome to the show. The morning show in CrossFit. The pre-morning show. Most people aren't even awake yet. The chat is arguing. It's a good start to the morning. All right. Let's party. Good morning, Aaron. Avera. We'll talk about event 1. I love it. Good morning, Gus. Gus and Avera. All right. Good morning, Leslie. Morning, Slater. All right. I need like a morning thing. I was playing Wordle right before this. Anyone play Wordle, or did you guys play Wordle when it was popular? I always enjoyed it, but then I just kind of like fell off. Misha, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, so all right, let's see if you guys can help me. This is where I'm at. What do you think? So A has to start. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways. All right. So big weekend, super full. What we'll do is we'll start with the least. Again, it is again. No, it can't be again. Again's already, the A wasn't in the right spot. Anyways, admin's a good one. I don't think admin is a word. Oh, it is a word. Good job. Thanks, Gus. Nice. You got it. My man. I didn't think admin was a word. I mean, I guess it is. I was thinking it was crushed it. All right. On to the next. Okay, so we'll start with Far East Throwdown. Not that anyone cares who went, but I am surprised at the scores in the workouts because I didn't think people were going to finish them. Everyone complained about Wadlands being the worst programmed competition. But Far East Throwdown was hands down worst. It was every event individually. So individually in Wadlands, every event was pretty dope. All right. But from like a who's going to go to the games, not a great competition. And let's talk about why. Whoops. That's not going to work. Here we go. I can do this. So if we just look at the leaderboard, the longest workout was like 8 minutes for the winner. 8:04, I think. 9:47. So sub 10 minutes. And that workout was Amanda 45, right? So all the workouts were identical. Very, very similar workouts across the board. No running. Not a great competition overall. Every workout individually was really neat. Sandbag cleans were too light. This should have been 200 pounds. It seemed like one of these two guys was going to win. Oh, whoops, you're not online. Here we go. One of these two guys was going to win. And then as far as ladies, Mariana Meza, again, Sungyeon Choi already had it. So it was close, but it just didn't seem. But anyways, I thought all the workouts were really cool. But in general, not a well-programmed competition. A lot of gymnastics, almost gymnastics in every workout, I think, just about. Right, besides the lift and Grace. All right, so more rope climbs. We had handstand walks, bar muscle ups, Amanda 45, and then event 7 was pulling gymnastics in every workout and then or pressing gymnastics. So not a super well. I should be 200 pounds. I'll never get to 200 pounds. I'd be fat as fuck at 200 pounds. So not a well-programmed competition, in my opinion. No aerobic component. Hardly hardly demonstrating any type of aerobic capacity. But anyways, every workout looks cool. These athletes, Sahara Kai is not qualified yet. Surprising. Assumes she'll do last chance, but it doesn't look like she's going to make it back to the games. That's a good one. That's well played. Gus, that song is older than you are. I'm surprised you even know that song. We'll go to Rebel Games. I don't think we can actually find the this just takes this to you have to download their app. Or it was score dot there we go, co.za current events. Maybe past events. Rebel view event. Leaderboards. Oh, they let it back up. Okay. Here we go. Toby Buckland. I have no idea who that is. But I just want to talk about Sarah. And good morning. Good morning, Judy. And if we take out a 15th, right, Sarah wins pretty handily. All she needed was, what was she, 50 points back? She needed to be fifth. I mean, these athletes were these four were pretty bouncing back and forth at the top, and Christina pulled away pretty good at the end. She ended up winning this workout. It doesn't look like Evie would have beat her. I know there's this free Evie nonsense that's going on for her handstand push-ups, but I don't think she had 6 minutes of penalties. And yes, Gus, is a 15th in that field a last in the games, a last by an hour, right? It was the 3K run took her 20 minutes alone. So it was it was a long time. But she did, she rode substantially faster than everybody. But yeah, it's a last. It's behind a Danny Spiegel last place sort of thing. But it doesn't look like Sarah's going to make it. Some people are asking if she's going to go to NorCal. No way. She will for sure head to the online qualifier if she decides to go that route. So Sarah had a lot to prove, and she didn't prove it. But she's in a her autoimmune issue, and her it looks like her knee, she can't run. I don't think she's ran in a year. And so anyways, sad to see. I love Sarah. I always liked what she stood for and how she presented herself and how she just didn't take any shit, and she wasn't worried about what everyone thought, which was always nice to hear. Okay, Torian Pro. But Christina Leviticus, I don't know if that's how you say her name. I feel like I heard someone say Lividakis. I don't know. Lividicus. Anyways, here we go. Torian Pro. No. No, Sarah has never won. Sarah's podiumed twice. Sarah hasn't been to the games since 2019. So she's the only one that hasn't been there in this decade. Shoot. Torian Pro. Leaderboard. Here we go. All right, so slinging on over to Torian Pro. I'm not going to take 3 hours to review the workouts. This is old. This is the qualifier. Nope, that's not what we wanted. This one? No, that's really old. 2019. What are we doing here? Here we go. Voila. All right, here we go. So, males, Ricky came in, dominated, first place across the board, except 2 events where he got second. He got absolutely waxed in this event. Holy shit. Guy beat. Are we not going to rank here? Guy beat that workout by over a minute, which is crazy. We'll talk about Guy in a second. But overall, Ricky was very impressive. Definitely the Ricky of old. Had strong wins across the board where he needed to. Strict handstand push-ups are his weakest pattern. And they were at a deficit, a pretty low deficit. I don't think the barbell was heavy enough in Strictly Business. I think we thought it was heavy, ended up not being heavy enough, in my opinion. And we can probably see that relative to like how easy Tia moved through it. But it just ended up being a strict handstand push-up workout. Grisabel was a pretty spicy piece. This was a really cool workout. Double under, maybe a little under programmed as far as the volume of it, but I think it turned out pretty good. Alfred was a good workout. I think the bar muscle ups were irrelevant. This should have been like, it really probably should have been like 15-15. I know it took the time because it was just primarily a run workout, but the bar muscle ups just didn't really have a factor in it. They didn't even affect the run, right? So I think it could have been a little bit longer. The squats were probably just enough to fatigue the run a bit. But what are you going to do? This workout was really good. I think the flow was pretty good. Maybe just under hard enough. 6-4-3. And I think it was the same for the women. Move it or lose it was a good one. I like this. Very painful. Fun to watch. Good races across the board. And then the final was a really cool one, right? Having an odd object. Having an odd object will, like, in the final event is super neat. It was really visually appealing. I think the numbers were really good here as well. And it was overall pretty neat to watch. Maybe this should have been 12. It seemed like everyone pretty much went unbroken, like at the top, which was the goal. But it made for a good race. So anyways, Ricky was super impressive. Jay doing his thing. Congrats to Peter and Isaac. I think Isaac came back like at the end, or someone bombed maybe. I feel like someone else, maybe not. Isaac Newman, I don't know the name, but he seemed pretty consistent over the weekend. No real fallouts, which is what helped him get there. Jack probably would have beat him if he didn't have a 37th. Looks like his overall would have been a little more balanced. So Ricky and Jay already had their spot. Guy didn't do the open, and then Peter and Isaac qualified. And so for all things considered, I am, and we can just test from this workout, right? So Alfred running workout, bar muscle ups, relevant. Okay. I was pretty impressed with Guy. Okay. And I know the field is pretty stacked high, right? And so basically everything past Ben Fowler is kind of irrelevant. Con Porter's done. Zane is coming back from injury, I think. And so really, like, if you finish anything outside of 8th, that's probably less than ideal. But Guy's worst finish was the 10th in this workout. And you can just look at the time relative. Ricky's probably not the greatest comparison since he's probably the best runner in the field in CrossFit. And so if we just look at Jay is a decent runner. Okay. And so is Peter. And he was within 2 minutes of a 20-minute workout. So I have to say that Guy came, he had some home runs, he hit them for sure, right? Strictly business. And then I think that was it. I thought he had another first place, but second, fifth, very consistent. It was really high skilled, all relatively short, besides um, the first one, but he held his own, right? And I was impressed with it. You know, everyone can talk about the travel and money and whatever his, I don't know, softness, but I was impressed with his performance. Um, everywhere, even especially in this first one, right? So 4,000 meters of running to not be in last place, even in a field that's not that strong, um, is impressive. Okay, did so Ricky had something to prove, right? Ricky's been on the struggle bus, didn't do great at WFP, didn't do great in the games, didn't do great at Rogue. Like he hasn't done well. Didn't do great at Wadapalooza. Did he do Wadapalooza? He did something else that he didn't do well at. I can't remember. Anyways, relatively underwhelming, right? Barely limped in the online, so top 12 or top 11. And so he had a lot to prove. And I think he did a good job of saying, hey, my name is still in the running. And you know, don't count me out yet, which was cool because I love Ricky. I love what he brings to the table, as far as hype and intensity and some drama, etc. Um, and so we have a question: did too many men from Torian make it? No, certainly not. Right. I think it was just the way that it fell. It was open to everybody. Right, Gus? So Gus's question is did too many men from Torian make it? Well, Ricky and Jay qualified through the online qualifier. And so there was 2 spots open. Guy didn't do the open, so he can't qualify. And so Peter Ellis, and so it probably should have went to Bailey Martin, right? But he got hurt, which I actually don't know what happened. Does anyone know what happened? How do you spell fucking Bailey? Bayley. I assume he posted on Instagram at some point. Here we go. No, he hasn't posted yet. I mean, I assume he got hurt. But there's nothing on his Instagram just yet. Where's my StreamYard? Whoops. And so Isaac Newman got it. Congrats to him for sure. His first time at the games. And so did too many men make it? No, because now if there was 2 spots and they closed it to Australians only, and I know there's obviously some challenges to get over there, then maybe the question is like, you know, was this like, did they need 2 spots because of the online? Should have been changed. 2 spots were there. They did it online. They could still do the qualifier. And so it is what it is. So no, because it was open to everybody, I think it was fair and the 2 spots were awarded appropriately. And so the follow-up question is, as in what placement do we think the 5th place guy will get at the games? He's not going to be bottom of the barrel for sure, right? But I mean, he's not going to be a top 10er. But the other 3, Jay and Ricky, are going to be top 10s. Peter's going to be 10 to 15th, most likely. And Isaac will probably be somewhere in the 15th to 25, right? So he's not going to get last. But I don't think it takes away from anyone. I don't think anyone so far that almost qualified that didn't. So as you look at 3rd place at TFX or 3rd place at Syndicate, so you're looking at uh, Luke Parker or who's TFX leaderboard? Who was 3rd place at TFX? Leaderboard. Pro men. Nope, wrong one. Oh, fuck. Come on. Jacob Marlowe, right? So Jake Marlowe was, I think Jake Marlowe is still a 20 to 30th place athlete as well. So no, I don't think so, right? We'll maybe find out at NorCal if there's a third place that looks a little different, or who was 12th place in the online games. Just show you guys what I'm doing. So I'm going to basically finding who like the first man out was, right? Yonakoski's probably not a top 20 athlete anymore either. But he made it because didn't someone in here qualify before? Maybe not. So, anyways, I don't think so. I think it's still a valid battery of athletes that made it through. What's up, Kenneth? Hello. Guy did do the open, was not in the top 1%. Yeah, but he really? I don't put it. I don't know. I don't put weight in his efforts, to be honest. I can't say third place at Mayhem. Whoever was third place at Mayhem for sure has qualified already. Mayhem. Whoops, don't want to do that. Mayhemclassic.com. Leaderboard. Third place was Roman. He's qualified. Fourth place was James, qualified. Jason qualified. Guy was 6. Jorge Fernandez has not qualified yet. Nick Matthew has qualified, and that's it. Jack Rosema is qualified. So not here we go. So not quite. I think Jorge's the only one that hasn't, the highest besides Guy hasn't qualified. Something with his heart. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's really sad. To be honest, if Bailey, yeah, for sure, right? Like but that's just the way that it works, right? So to be completely honest, if Bailey made it, I wouldn't have said that, says Gus. I think we're always going to have those outliers, right, that make it, just like Tia doing what she did. And Georgia Pryor going to get the backfill here. It's pretty clear Tia, I don't think she's going to take it. Let's just go to Instagram real quick and look at some of, it's so ambiguous. Like, I feel like, let's look at the proven video. So the proven video looks like Tia isn't going to take it. Okay. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Is Tia retiring or not? I don't know. If we read this, doesn't seem like she is, or it seems like she is.
A lot of us here go to school, go to uni, go to TAFE, get a trade, go to qualification, and then, think that that's what we have to do for the rest of our lives. And just out of nowhere, COVID came into my life, and I was a lab technician doing shift work, and all of a sudden, the Torian Pro, and then I came second in the CrossFit Games, and it didn't just happen just like that, right? But
yes,
more of the stories, like the Torian Pro creates dreams and turns dreams into reality, and I just will be forever grateful. And to end it here in front of a home crowd. And
I mean, so she just said end it here in front of a home crowd. Right. So Jody says she can't stand Tia's cat and mouse. It seems like a cat and mouse to us, but maybe it's not to her. Maybe it's been pretty clear to her that it hasn't been a cat and mouse. She just hasn't said, I'm not doing the CrossFit Games, like those words, right? And so I don't know. So here are my thoughts. because that's why you guys are here to hear my fucking voice on this. First, Dave did say they gave her a date where she has to confirm by. I think that date should be like fucking today, since Georgia Pryor, who is the next person in, um, Georgia Pryor needs to know if she's going to do online qualifier or fly her ass to NorCal, right? In my opinion. No, I don't know if that's even in the books for her, but it seems like it would only be fair to Georgia because it only matters to Georgia, right? Like her decision at this point is going to affect Georgia more than anyone else. And if she delays it, then she's just being really shitty to her. Because what if Georgia could go to NorCal and qualify? You know what I mean? Right. They're like, these are my thoughts behind it. Or like she needs to prepare for the online, right? You know, and if NorCal isn't an option at all, then it's not the hugest deal, but still annoying, right? Like still super annoying for Georgia only. For us, this is fucking sports. Like this is the Tom Brady. Right. And exactly, Kenneth. So this is what my next point was. Who's to say her date wasn't yesterday or right now and it's just behind closed doors and they're just not saying anything and Georgia is preparing to fly to California, right? And so if we want to find out, we just hang on to Georgia's, I can't ever find her freaking page. It's like not searchable. I can't ever find her page. Here we go. I follow her too. Anyway, so she doesn't have. All right, so she posted some other stuff.
Refunding 10 orders
LSKD,
tonight. So all you have to.
So nothing yet. So NorCal is this week, and it would be a huge risk and probably wildly expensive. But it's not off the table. NorCal has spots available. Like they are not full. So KDL Cashra said she had some time. He did say that. And but we don't know what that means and what that entails. So that was HWPO. Okay. Right. NorCal is going to take anyone that wants to come. You know, so like basically everyone. Cairo will be there for sure. You know, I'm pretty surprised that Folo isn't going. It seems like in the Hiller video that Folo wasn't going to go at all. He didn't say it, Judy. Judy asked about Dave's date. Okay. So anyways, so back to Tia. She doesn't owe it to anyone. And I know she's an athlete and all of these things, but she doesn't owe it to anyone to give any answers, right? And that's fine. And it's good marketing. I still am firmly on this thought that it is all of this is a marketing ploy for her High Rocks and LSKD sponsorship. Or yeah. And they want to push the High Rocks program. They see more growth in a High Rocks program long term. That's where the shift has come from. She still wanted to do some things on her own, etc. And if she chooses not to do the games, I think it'll be her silent way of saying she isn't happy with CrossFit, right? Because she just said she just became the Wadapalooza Tier Cup captain again for the world team. That was just announced. So a very yes and no. So Tia earned the spot. She can decide on her own time. She can, but she needs to decide for Georgia because it's unfair to the other athlete. And it doesn't matter to us because it just gives us shit to talk about and we care and we just want to know more. And so if anything, where we hate it, we love it at the same time because it's drama. It's good to talk about. It's fun. It's fun. Gossip in the space, blah, 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 blah. Right. So it doesn't really matter to us, but it matters to Georgia very specifically. It's very important to her. And so I hope that maybe behind closed doors, she like has communicated with Georgia and is like, hey, I'm not going to do it. Or, hey, I am going to do it. Blah, 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 whatever it is. And just like, hey, don't say anything. And so, yeah. So back to why, one of the, and Jody, I'm just like, it just seems, so I'm not saying that Jody said billionaire for your CrossFit. She's certainly not a billionaire. She's wealthy. She's not a billionaire. Tired of indignant athletes. So in my initial thought through all of this was that they started the High Rocks thing and it was all for marketing. It was all to grow a brand, another portion of their company, and to grow the net, right? Like grow Proven. And it's working, right? James Kelly, it's the premier thing. And he is going to be world champion in High Rocks. And there's no question in my mind that she will be High Rocks world champion in 2 to 3 years for individuals and teams for sure. But one thing that I've learned from athletes over the years, and for those that don't know, I'm not just like a face. I coach full time. I've coached games athletes. I've coached hundreds of masters athletes and thousands for template remote coaching across the board. And athletes don't have a great concept of where they stand amongst their competitors and peers, even when they're the top of the board, right? So like thinking of like Tia and Matt and Rich, it was clear Tia and Matt could have shut down their training a lot over the back half of their career, right? But they never did. And why is that? Why would Tia continue to train 6 to 8 hours a day? Why would Tia need to train 6 to 8 hours a day in year 4, 5, 6, and 7 when it was so clear she was so far ahead of the field? And the answer is because she still doubted her abilities relative to everyone else. And so I think this year started with this shift to High Rocks for money and for marketing on the back end of because she didn't know if she wanted to train 6 to 8 hours a day anymore to win the CrossFit Games. And so my thought was this: she's going to go, and she did Torian, and it's going to teach her and allow her to see that she doesn't need 6 to 8 hours a day, 9 months out of the year to be the best. And it showed her just that. She only trained for CrossFit for like a month. She didn't do well in the open, relatively speaking. She did a High Rocks event in like the end of April. And so she had a month to prepare. And on 1 month of preparation, she won every event handily won every event. And so in my mind, it would have showed her like, oh, maybe I can do High Rocks Worlds in whatever it is, 3 weeks, and then just sort of keep training it 2 to 3 hours a day and still be a mom, still run the business, still be involved in the affiliate, etc. And go win the games and not have to put in the effort that I had to before, right? But if she retires, then my thought is one of two things. Either it is her little silent stand against CrossFit, which I'm very not bullish on that. I don't think that's it, but it could be. Or she really just does not want to do it at all. She doesn't care. And she just really wants to focus on high rocks. Or she's over putting that effort into training. And so I don't think the odds are she doesn't know. I think she knows. Avera says, what are the odds she doesn't know? He thinks it's pretty high. I don't think it's high. I think winning Torian this easily and not having to put in a lot of effort theoretically, right? Like compared to what we assume she usually would train as, would be all of the information that she would need to know if she wanted to do the games. Right. And I think that all of those things pointed to yes, you can go do the games. Event 1 is released. You don't even have to change anything. You're going to win the event. And then it shifts to like, do you want to put in the time? But you could probably do it in 2 hours a day, maybe 3 hours a day. Right. That's probably half of what you've been training. And so if she decides to retire and not do the games, then I don't think those things were a factor. And I think she's been out the entire time, like since before all of this, and just wanted to be at Torian because she really did love it. So I don't know. Anyways, Jeremy -1. I don't know what that means. Does Tia need any more hype at this point in her career? Not in CrossFit, but in High Rocks, yes, because they're trying to grow another entity within that company. And so she needs all the High Rocks hype that she can get because they're trying to be the predominant leader of High Rocks programming, which they are pretty close. Like everyone has that proven affiliate, like a lot of gyms. Okay. All right. To Syndicate. Yeah. Right. Yeah. -1. You know what I mean. Okay. Syndicate Crown leaderboard. Bam. I knew. Okay. This one. All right. Good. Perfect. Let's go to women first. Back to Tia real quick. Did Tia prove what she needed to prove? I think to all of us, yes, that she's still hands down the queen. And I don't think it really had a lot of question. It didn't matter that she was focusing on high rocks. It didn't matter that she did bobsled. It didn't matter that she did the Olympics and weightlifting. She's a freak. Just she's on a whole nother world. And I think she's just going to go and win the High Rocks World Championships, potentially in the same year, right? Which would be crazy. Okay. Here we go. All right. So Syndicate Crown, by far the best race, male and female, in the CrossFit season so far. All 3 events are both male and female had flip-flops at the very end to finish the weekend, right? So the people going into the last workout were not in first and second when the last workout ended, which is fucking so cool, right? Brooke Wells came in. Gus said earlier she had a chip on her shoulder or gave herself a chip, and she fucking crushed it. Super impressive across the board, consistent, hard fought. Sort of started to fall off at the back end of the weekend, the last 4, but still won handily. The women's field was super, super tight. And it was going into the last workout, it was Reese's to lose. And obviously, overall brute strength always shows its face in the female more than the male. Like if the young female athletes seem to match up aerobically really well with experienced athletes, gymnastics wise, and even like a relatively heavy lift. Like let's look at heavy Isabel. So Reese is obviously not very strong, but she's exceptional at athletic endeavors. She won Medal March. She won Athletes Only. And did decent on yoke repeater, which means she can run. She's not super strong. So Reese Littlewood will be a force to reckon with in time to come. Just didn't have the strength to pull it off at the end of the weekend. Lexi Neely did hit a W and jumped her, which was amazing. It was so cool to watch. It was pretty cool. Brooke, super consistent, very impressive. I love the chip on her shoulder. I'm all for it. Uh-oh. Am I gone? Is it back? Better? You sound like a robot, Slater. Still fuzzy. No, not better. Tell me better or worse. Buzzing. Okay. All right. Turn. Please hold. All right, so I'm on the computer right now. It'll come back on in a second. Let's see if this works. That was sad. All right. All right, what about now? Oh, that's not working still. Yes, better. Seems better. Okay. All right. Sweet. Okay. All right, back to it. So Brooke was impressive, right? She obviously is pissed at whatever the YouTube world. That's fine. Sort of admitted to not having it when she realized she was going to qualify. It is what it is, right? Who cares? She can be upset, and she made it. I love it. I love it, Chip. I love some drama. It was good. Lexi was very impressive as well. Lydia held the spot. Caroline was in the spot for a while. Shut up, Jeremy. And so it was a good race across the board, right? Folo with yet another like fall off. If we're looking at it again, 28th, 24th. It seems like her higher skilled stuff is not it's kind of a struggle point, but well, if I was Brooke, I wouldn't. So I guess this is okay. If I were Brooke, what I've done, I would have done the interview, and I probably would have been mean. I would have been spicy to Taylor. I would have done the interview, and I would have I would have probably jabbed at him. If it was just me, I wouldn't have avoided the interview. I'm not an avoidance kind of guy. But I probably would have been aggressive towards it. Right. And the topic, but it is what it is. She decided not to, and that's her right. I think the one thing that it's hard for people on the other side, like when Hiller makes a video or everyone says that they weren't burpees or whatever, she feels attacked personally. And it's hard to not feel attacked personally in that situation. And it is June. Gus. And so it's hard. It's understandable, like why she feels that way. But I think you also have to understand that everyone were involved in that is here to support the sport. And so to be in someone's head or to interfere with their ability to compete for the weekend is not on the cards, right? Like they don't want to do anything to interfere with their ability to compete for the weekend because this is a sport and a job. And so I think that they're, like, I feel like Daniel Brandon might have had this too, where like, oh, they don't want those people that are saying mean things about them to see them in person there. And that's their right. But I don't think anyone would ever try to interfere with their ability to compete live and create some headspace or head games with an athlete. That's never anyone's goal. No matter how mean or, like rude or whatever you think the Savant and their crew is doing, it's never their goal, right? Their goal is to create purity and growth in the sport and the methodology of CrossFit always. You just might not like the way that they do it, and that's totally fair and up to you. It's not everyone's cup of tea. And so it's within her right to avoid that because maybe she felt like it would interfere with her ability to compete, and her ability to compete is the most important thing over the weekend, right? Like her focus and whatever she needs, that's what all of the media should do. And so that's the focus, right? That's the goal. Okay. So, all right. So everyone that didn't qualify still needs to qualify, right? So, let's go to the men. Just to be clear, yeah, they were 100%. Misha, I called Ty and Jack. Just saying, those who I picked. Luke was super impressive. We'll get to Ty in a second. Luke was way better than I thought he would be. Spencer fucking with 3 W's to finish. These are all really athletic, biased workouts. And not overall fitness based. And so, whoops. Right. So Spencer with a 12th on Heavy Isabel, a 24th on Regionals Revenge, and then a 11th on Yoke Repeater, and then W's across the board to finish, right? Which are like very, very, very athletic biased CrossFit workouts. Shows that his athleticism and his specific time domain is really impressive. If he was just like, not to be rude, just like worth a shit in this workout, he would have qualified, right? He had 58 points to overcome. He needed what did he need? Like an 8th or something to get in. I mean, he got capped. Not saying it wasn't an easy workout by any means, but to take these three all have like a very similar tendency of potentially an athlete that would do well, right? Cut rope climbs, the handstand walk obstacle, high box jump overs, literally called athlete only, muscle ups, sandbag cleans. He's very good at vertical pulling gymnastics. And so, so anyways, why do I sound like John? but super impressive. Just needs a little more fitness here, right? But better than I anticipated, and so was Luke. I called Ty and Jack. I think they did a very good job. They did what they needed to do. I loved how close this race was the entire weekend. These two, Ty was in the lead from like, I think going into day 3, or tied for the lead going into day 3. And I'm not a Panchicator. I'm saying I'm impressed by Spencer. I didn't think he could do that well. He hasn't done that well in a long time. So if I could be at one event this patch weekend, what would I be? We'll pause. Joey's a great question. I probably would be a Torian. Just because, you know, it's amazing to see greatness, and Torian's just like a really cool event. They do a really good job. It's full. It's exciting. I love like the Pacific Island culture stuff. So anyways, I would have been a Torian. In Tia's last event, potentially, I think that would be really cool to be at overall. You know, I know everyone wants to say Syndicate, but I'm going to watch all of these people compete again and again and again over the next years. And so I probably will never be able to go to Torian. So if I just had the option, I would probably, that was weird. Oh, did I break it? Oh, that's annoying. I guess it's anyways. Okay. So Ty was super impressive. He's got a lot of room to grow. Not saying he needs to grow a lot, but he is, he's very young. He's only 19. He has he has the size, he's getting the strength, he's getting the aerobic capacity. He clearly has like the overall fitness to win. Regionals Revenge is a very interesting workout to win from a very large athlete. I mean, he's not small by any means. Seemed like he held his own on Isabel, and obviously did very well throughout all of the probably the most balanced competition. I think Torian was pretty well balanced as well. So I think Ty is going to be a force to reckon with in there. I think we're going to start including him in the conversation with Dallin, Sprague, Jeff, and Austin in the next 3 to 4 years. He's at 19. He is a full-time athlete. He's sponsored. He's paid. He doesn't work. I think he's going to college, but I think he might be pushing it as well. And so I think he has all the tools in the situation that's going to set him up for success in the sport if he can mentally stay in it and handle failure, which he didn't make it last year. He was really close. He got dinged really bad, and so he didn't get to go to a semifinal. And so I think he's already handling failure pretty well. So I think he's going to so yeah. Avera, okay. Jack, congrats to Jack. He looks consistent. You know, Jack's kind of like he's not like overly flashy or impressive or anything like that. He just does his thing. He's just a good old boy. I love that. He's not, he doesn't talk a lot of shit. He just comes and he works out really hard. He's a fucking lawyer at JAG, so he works full time. Is he on the Army Warrior Fitness? Oh, he is on the Army Warrior Fitness. Okay, so he works out full time. Never mind. Disregard that. But he did do JAG, but now he works out full time, which is pretty cool. And the Army pays him for it. Avera's question: how can NorCal roster not be filled? It starts in 2 days. There has to be at least 10 to 15 games athletes who have not secured spots. So a lot of people didn't. So there just is open spots. They kept a lot of spots open for last minute invites because of this right here. And so they didn't want to give spots away. And I know athletes didn't want to take spots if they thought they were going to make it through the online qualifier or through Syndicate or through TFX, etc. And so I think there will be a few people that will hop into NorCal last minute from this past weekend. So anyways, but they did that on purpose because they were the last in-person qualifier. And so there are still open, there's open spots left. Like you can just look at the leaderboard in the lane assignments and know that there's just empty lanes, right? So there'll be some more people. I think Kyra Milligan will go. Let's finish on that. Let's see who is probably going to go to NorCal that isn't currently there. Of course, Syndicate Competition Corner is running an update in the middle of my show, obviously. Prevo does not win NorCal. Alex Gazan will win NorCal. It's not even a question. NorCal. You only like her because she's on podcasts. Leaderboard. Here we go. Oh, damn it. The whole competition corner is down. Fuck, I can't see anything. That sucks. Okay. Anyways, I think Kyra Milligan will go. Let's see. Is it done? Okay, it's done. That's funny. All right, Elite Male. Bill Leahy is there. Spencer is there. Seth is there. Oh, here, I should share my screen. Here we go. Seth is there. I just want to say Seth is the most underwhelming athlete. I think he has a lot of growing to do. Seems like he just doesn't quite live up to the hype. I don't really know why they've given him hype. Maybe just because he trains at Mayhem, but he's never. I think his training Seth and competing Seth are much different. Spencer is there. One thing that we might see, NorCal is usually a very niche type of competition. And so it could really benefit Spencer's strengths. All of the events are timed. Like we know the heat times already, and every event is under 15 minutes is what it looks like. So that could really benefit Spencer. And so I don't think you can count Spencer out based on the weekend that he just had. Nate Ackerman, very close, did very well at TFX. Kevin Schutz, I'll be there working. He's part of our WODprep crew and Coda Iron, Coda Iron View. I don't think he has a chance to qualify, but it's fun to coach him. He'll do very well in this type of event. Drake, Colton's there for fun. Chris Ibar is already qualified. And because there is a big cash prize. So let's count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42, 45, 48. So there's 49. He's there to win. There's a cash prize on the line. So yes, you're right. So I think there was like 50 something spots. They have 25 lane. They have a 25 lane competition floor. So it looks like there's 49 people here. Looks like there's one available male spot. Let's go to females. We'll just count them real quick. All right. So 3, 6, 9, 11, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 42. There's only 43 female spots. And so it looks like there's 7 spots available. So I definitely think we'll see Kyra Milligan pop on this list, Reese Littlewood, Lydia Fish, if they're not already on there. So Lindsay Lane is already there from Crash. Kristen Holta, holy shit. That's cool. I didn't know she was competing. That'll be fun to watch. Did Kristen do the Open? She didn't do semifinals. She always does the Open. She probably fucking won it for the females. She got 7th. So Kristen Holta is in a qualifying position and could qualify. Just saying, she does really good. I mean, there's no one at NorCal that beat her in the Open. Just saying, that might be kind of out of nowhere. I mean, that's a really expensive trip for her to come over and qualify and do all the things. I wouldn't put it past her to potentially take a spot. Hattie Canyo is not qualified yet. Gucci is competing, so I'll be out there at NorCal. She leaves Wednesday, but I think your favorites are most likely, obviously, Alex Kazan. I don't know if Carolyn Prevost on that list. Emily Rolfe is probably there too, depending on what the workouts come out to be. But again, I do think that we'll see. I don't think anyone from Australia is going to come. It's so expensive, last minute, and they'll just do the online. Am I going to do update shows? Maybe. It's really dense when we're there. I know we did it for the Masters games, but it's really hard to make that happen. Too as well. Yes, Misha. But maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'll be coaching, so we'll see. 50-50. All right, let's go to Syndicate Crown. So if we look at the ladies there, so there's 7 spots. I thought Erica Folo would for sure go, but based on her interview with Hiller, they talked about what's next. They talked about the last chance qualifier and then some like other competitions, not games season related. So I can see Reese, Lydia, Caroline, Kyra, and Sydney all going last minute. So, and potentially Sarah Sigmundsdottir, but I think Sarah will do the online since Sarah can't run. Sarah is very limited in running, so I don't think NorCal would suit her. And so I think her decision will be to try to get the last chance. So athletes will be basically determining and deciding, do I want to do last chance and get 1 spot? Do I want to fly to NorCal and go for 2 spots? Aaron, who are you talking? Are you talking about Erica Folo? And then men, it looks like there's only 1 spot available. Luke said this is his last competition, so he's done. I could see George taking that spot and heading over there and trying to qualify as well. So, yeah, super dense show. Not dense updates, but just dense for a lot of information. Thank you guys for sticking around. I'll be on probably. I might have to do, we'll see. I don't know. I might come on Thursday morning for a pre-show. But I will be in California for NorCal coaching Gucci and helping with Kevin Shoots. So I should be able to come on Friday, depending on what time I know what time the first event is. Let's see. Schedule. Friday starts at 8 a.m. Heat 1. Novice female. Dude, Misha, that's funny. That's a pretty funny statement. George Sterner looks like he's sponsored by Goodwill. That's some good humor right there. Okay. Friday Battlegrounds. Frog Grip Battlegrounds. Let's see. It doesn't look like they start at 8, which means that I should be able to do a show. RX. This says RX. So that's pairs. Crossroads. This is just at night. Holy smokes. Elite female. Oh, they called it something different. The Crossroads. So it's pretty sure that they have a obstacle course. Just by looking at this. So if we look at this workout, it's a 2-person event. It's a 2-person heat, and it's a 3-minute heat times. So it has to be an obstacle course. This was called the U.S. Army track. And so I think it's going to be an obstacle course, which is going to be pretty cool. So it looks like they renamed it, interestingly enough. But it doesn't look like, so to answer Avera's question, it doesn't look like we start super early in the morning, which is kind of nice. I actually don't know. There we go. Elites. So elite males will go. I wonder if it means elite females are here. So elite females are like 10 in the morning here on Friday. So I should be able to do a Friday morning show. I might even be able to do a later Friday morning show, which would be fucking awesome. I would be so excited to not wake up at fucking 5 in the morning and do a show. I think I'm assuming they start at 10, and it's going to be here on this one. Oh, I can just do this. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so 2:48. 10:48. All right, so she goes at 10:48 in the morning. So anyways, so yes, I will probably do a show on Friday morning, maybe even a little later. We'll see when Savon and them are going live. So I will go around them and give my thoughts. We'll find out what the events are. We'll probably talk about them. Maybe even talk about them late Thursday night, like a super late Thursday night show after the brief. What do you guys think? Should I do a Thursday night show? Talk about the workouts? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I got a dip. Get Bennett. Head to school. Last training day for Gucci. So wish her luck, guys. If you don't follow her on Instagram, follow Gudborg. Gudberg. And it's under Gucci. Just search it. She's up and coming. I know I talk about her all the time, obviously, but I think she's got a good chance to be in the next running for the Icelandic battery of girls that are in the sport. So, all right, team. Adios. See ya.